I'm so excited because guess what is back? The E'Claire Makery Podcast is back. I know it has been a very long time since I have done my podcast. Honestly, after a ton of trouble with Skype, with having my guests come on, and then the video is always cutting out because turns out my internet at my apartment is not that great. So it was messing with a ton of stuff that I was trying to do, and I just got sick of it because you know me, I try to do everything, and so trying to interview people, record stuff, and do all of that on top of designing full-time, so that was a lot. And since I don't have enough money to hire out an editor to deal with all of that stuff, I had to do it myself, and it was too much. But I am back. And for right now, it is going to have a lot of just me on the podcast, but I am going to be offering all sorts of things, from showing you guys upcoming projects I'm designing, talking about my design process, as well as having topics that you guys have been asking questions about to me, like things about how to have a crochet blog, different things about designing, and just give you all of that advice and knowledge and info that you guys loved when I had my guests on my podcast, but I will be sharing it with you, and it's just gonna be a really low-key, really fun time where we just get to hang out, talk about crochet, and have a lot of fun. And I will be trying to get some guests to come on here, gonna figure out a better video editing situation, and because I loved getting to interview some makers like Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. She was such a awesome guest. I also got to do Chantel from Knititude. That was so much fun, and those are some of my most popular podcast episodes that you guys really like. You also really liked the one I did about craft fairs and garment designs, all of those things. So I still want to give you guys all that knowledge by interviewing other makers too. So that will be coming, so stay tuned for that. But let's just do a little catch-up time since you last saw me on my last podcast episode. I think my last podcast episode was in May. Wow, it's it's been a long time. And time really goes by. I feel like the summer went by so fast, and this year, I mean, it's already November. How has this year gone by so quickly? And a year ago, I was just thinking about starting this podcast and had my first guest that I interviewed, and one of my close Instagram friends, Anna from The Naughty Boss. So thinking that was already a year ago, and how much has happened to me since I started doing the podcast and filming those episodes and stuff, it's been a lot. I have done everything from I tried garment designing, I learned tapestry crochet, corner to corner. I've done a bunch of guest designs this year. I've grown my blog a ton, and I have done a lot. And I totally crashed and burned this July. I got really sick for the whole month. It was not fun, and so that kind of put that I had a ton of burnout, which that happens. That is something that as a maker you just run into, and it's just not great. But everyone experiences burnout no matter what you're going through, so it's all about trying to keep yourself nice and paced, which I have a really hard time because I want to do everything. I want to design, I want to film videos, I want to grow my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel, all of that all at the same time. But that's kind of impossible. So I've done that. I also had my 1-year wedding anniversary recently. Got to go celebrate my birthday too a few weeks ago, and I just can't believe how much has actually happened this year, which I will be sharing more about that in an episode next month, where I'm going to go over some of my goals that I had this year, how I met those, and kind of recap different things that happened this year, and just how I've grown on my blog as a maker and as a designer, because I know some of you guys you want to have more focused goals. So that is an upcoming episode. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on that when it comes. So to start off this week with one of my segments here, so I did a recap And I wanted to show you guys, I want to have like a time here on the podcast where I share about upcoming patterns that I am working on and designing. And so I want to give you guys the first-hand looks and more up-close versions of it. Because yeah, you can look at the photo on Instagram and yeah, that can be cool. But I am all about the texture and the colors and seeing it all together, and just like getting the kind of feel of a pattern by the visual aspect of it. So I want to share that with you guys because I mean, all of us makers, we love seeing yarn, no matter what form it's in. So one of my most recent designs that I just worked on this week is my velvet bauble trees. I am so excited about this pattern, you guys. I am a huge fan of vintage Christmas stuff. And so I got a green one too. And but you can see I'm kind of lazy. I don't weave in my ends a lot of times. Instagram doesn't show that, but I tuck them underneath the pattern when I photograph it. But I am really excited about this pattern. I was inspired by those ceramic and bottle brush vintage trees that you'll see. They're making a comeback. So they're those really cute trees that have the like thin green fronds with the snow usually, and tons of glitter and tons of fun colors. And I also wanted to combine my love of that with my love of like the vintage ceramic Christmas trees, which will have like the fun little ornaments. And I love velvet yarn, and what is more vintage than velvet? Because velvet is so trendy right now, and it's also super vintage. So combine my love of vintage Christmas trees with my love of velvet yarn, and you get my velvet bauble tree. So here's a close-up look of it. So the baubles are, you've got some baubles right here that these are to act kind of like different rings on the tree to give it that texture. My original design had it just be flat, but my mom is super smart and my mom suggested I try to find another way to add more texture. And I'm really glad that I listened to her because I love this look so much more. So you've got the velvet bauble texture up here. Then you've got the velvet bauble ornaments. And because I like color work, of course I had to do multiple colors of these and had to add a little velvet bauble ornament here on the top. And I'm so glad that you guys have loved this on Instagram. It makes me so happy when you guys love my designs, and this one is one of my favorites. It's crazy looking at my Christmas collection from last year to this year. Like last year was a ton of focused on amigurumi and like a lot of like little details and little pieces, but this year I'm doing more of like the classic look, going really vintage and just fun colors. And this whole collection I feel like suits me as a designer a lot more. I've really grown and really changed a lot this year in terms of what I thought I was going to focus on to what I have done now. And so it's been really fun to just kind of like see like, okay, here's how my designing has developed this year, and so here's how my Christmas collection has developed as well. So these are one of the patterns. I'm going to be having these available in 3 different sizes. So there will be a medium and a big, and then there'll be a small one that will cut off about right here. So you'll be able to have all sorts of fun little Christmas decorations for your house. And then another one of my designs that I'm really excited about that's in my Christmas collection, just posted about it on Instagram. It will be yesterday when this airs. So it is today is Wednesday, so I post about this on Wednesday, and it is my merry and bright stocking. Okay guys, so confession, this was my very first ever stocking that I made. I was super nervous about the heel because a heel is very intimidating, and that's one reason why I like shied away from socks or different things like that. But I wanted to challenge myself this year, so I studied a ton of different patterns and I came up with this one. And I wanted to do something that showcased like fun color work, but also was like a great beginner pattern. So I was inspired to do this pattern when I went to Joann's the other day. I saw this really cool striped stocking, but I wanted to add like a little more detail and a little more pizzazz and some faux fur. And so I was like, okay, I need to do something that's vintage. And as I was thinking about that one, I also was like looking at my Christmas tree design idea. And so I really wanted to just, this was one of the patterns where looking at this one really helped me like narrow down, okay, what do I want my Christmas collection to look like? And this is what I came up with. So the whole Christmas collection is going to be called the Merry and Bright collection. It's going to have stuff done in this Lion brand basic stitch yarn, which is one of my new all-time favorite yarns. Super soft, it's anti-piling, and it has the most amazing array of colors that it comes in. I used it for my kaleidoscope blanket, and I am using it for just about every single one of my designs in my Christmas collection. And like the Christmas tree pattern that I showed you guys, that one can be made with either Yarnspirations Bernat Velvet, or it could be made with Lion brand Velux yarn. So you have a couple options. I'm going to be having worsted weight and bulky weight versions included in that. Right now, this stocking only comes in a worsted weight one with the weight 6 faux fur yarn here at the top. But I have a couple. I've got another stocking idea. I've got so many Christmas blanket ideas. I need to stop. Someone please help me focus on things. Tell me to just narrow it down. I'm trying to get better organized. I've got a spreadsheet I just created the other day, and I'm listing, okay, here are all my ideas, which after writing all of them down, I realize I have way too much. Don't think I'll be ever able to do all of them, but trying to group it into, okay, here's a collection I want to do, here's the month I might want to have this in, especially because I'm starting to do a lot more designs for magazines, and so that stuff is always, you do it way in advance, so you do it like either 2 to 4 months before it's published, and so I'm really trying to get into that. So that one, I've got to kind of brainstorm those, space them out with when they'll come on my blog and when they'll be published in a magazine. All of it is, I've got too many patterns. But this Christmas collection is definitely one of my more focused collections, besides my Pinewood collection, which is your guys' favorite one. So far, that one always does really well. I'm so excited that you guys love that because I have a blanket version of the Pinewood pillow. It won't have the faux fur yarn as the main base of the blanket, but it will have Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick, which is another super soft and awesome yarn. So enough about Christmas. Let's talk about another design that I have coming out this week. So Christmas trees release on Friday, which when this episode airs, that will be tomorrow. So I think it will be 11/22/2019, the Christmas tree pattern will be live on my blog and in my shops. And another pattern that is coming really soon, it will probably be listed tomorrow, or I guess it will be today. So if I do get this pattern up by today, then you can grab it in my shops. But I have my Ocean Diamonds beanie. So I designed this pattern for the Underground Crafter blog. This will be going live on her blog on Monday, 11/25. So it is a basic tapestry crochet beanie pattern. It features a huge diamond here. It will have a video tutorial and different steps to help make this process really easy. It comes in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. The small one will be available for free, and the other 2 are available in the PDF. And if you guys are wondering, what does it look like worn? I'll be posting a photo of it, but this hat is huge. Okay, see, take a look at my end. I did not weave in. I'm really bad. But I know that a lot of you guys struggle too. So this hat is really big. It has like a lot of slouch in it. So if you want to just have it be more slouchy and have this come down and then it can go, here, let's get this little guy out of the way. So this hat has a lot of slouch on it. So it can either be slouchy, you can wear it slouchy, or you can roll up the brim like this so that it's, here we go. So this one looks a little bit more like a fisherman's hat. And so you've got this fun diamond pattern here, and this is a great beginner tapestry hat pattern. A lot of my tapestry crochet beanies are great beginner patterns. That's something that I've wanted to focus on. I really want to make like crochet color work really accessible to you guys so that you feel like you can do it and like you're not intimidated by it. And so, sorry, I got a fuzz in my mouth. And so that's something that I've wanted to focus on. And so this is a great beginner tapestry pattern. I'm excited to have, this is actually going to probably be one of my last guest designs that I do for other blogs. That was something that I really focused on this last year, was trying to get my name out there, trying to do different guest design things. But now that my blog is where it's at right now, I don't need to do that as much. Which that is a great segue into what my main topic for the day. So we're gonna close up the pattern corner. Thank you. My favorite murder, they always have like little corners in their podcast. So like little discussion times for different things. And so we're gonna have pattern corners where I'm gonna share all my stuff. And then I'm gonna also have a main topic of like either a question from you guys or something that I really want to share with you on what to do, how to do things as a maker. And today what I really wanted to focus on was how to grow your blog and business. So when I think it's almost been 2 months now, after I got approved with Mediavine, which is a huge ad network. It's one of the top ad networks for bloggers, and it's one that like a lot of bloggers strive towards. If you've never heard of it, basically it's just like the elite ad network, so they pay you a lot more than Google AdSense. So I could make anywhere, like during my blog hop, I can make anywhere from $50 to $80 depending on how much traffic I get, which is way more than what the pennies that Google AdSense pays you per page view. So once I got with that ad network, I started getting a ton of questions from people who were asking me different things about, hey Claire, how did you grow your blog? What are ways that I can grow my blog and my business so that I can get to this point? What were the different things that you did to grow? And so I wanted to take the time for my first return podcast episode to share with you guys different ways that I grew my blog and my business to be where it's at right now. So a year ago, I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my blog. I was just starting out and I had this dream in my head of kind of what I wanted E'Claire Makery to be, but I also had no idea what I was getting myself into. I legitimately did not think there was as much effort as there is that goes into a blog. And as I was like, this whole last year has basically just been giant self-discovery time for me. I like had no idea who I wanted to be as a designer. I thought I wanted to only do amigurumi when I started out. And then I started making accessory patterns and then I was like, oh, maybe I need to go into garment design. And so I didn't really have a target audience. I was just kind of had this general idea of, okay, I need to just have this one, go for people who just want to learn how to crochet, which is not a focus at all. That is, I mean, you can have that be a focus and narrow in on that a little bit more, but the way that I had it was, I had it so broad. I was basically trying to appeal to every single crocheter that's out there, and that unfortunately is just not the way that things work. So my very first tip that I'm gonna give you guys for helping grow your blog, this is one that all of my crochet blogging mentors have shared with me as like the first starting point, is you got to find your target audience. So tip number 1 is find your target audience. So your target audience is basically just the person or the group of people that you are trying to reach with your designs and your website. I have a great podcast episode with Pam from the Crochetpreneurs and Made with a Twist. She is a master at this with her crochet business, and be sure to check out her website, thecrochetpreneur.com. Or it's crochetpreneur.com. I'll have a link for it in the description. She's got some great articles on how to find your target audience, but essentially what you're going to want to do is you want to try to create a person known as an avatar of who is your ideal customer, who is your ideal person that you're trying to reach. So my ideal customer and person is someone who really wants to do like color work or different crocheting things, but they don't feel confident. And so they think that certain things are too complicated and that they can't do it. And so with all of my videos and all of my patterns, I want to help make complicated crochet easy so that you guys can make the complicated looking things that are simple once you know what to do. I want that to make those accessible to you guys because I was super intimidated by it for a while, and then I learned it, and now it opens this whole new awesome world of fun and color and designs and pattern making. So that's kind of my avatar, who I'm trying to reach. And so what I tried to do is I created a whole background for this person, and that was not who my avatar started out being. For a while, I was trying to reach crochet business owners as well, and crochet designers, and just crocheters in general, which that made all of my stuff way too broad, and it just didn't work. I was trying to focus on too many different things at once, so I tried to focus on my podcast and different stuff, and I didn't have a narrow idea of what I wanted to do. So then once you have your target audience, you're going to want to figure out what type of content do those people make. So tip number 2 is figure out what type of content your people want to make. So my people, and what I've learned with my different receptions on different things, is people really like seeing color work designs from me. So they really like tapestry crochet, which makes me really happy because that's what I really like making. And so those are usually the posts when I have stuff like that. That's usually what gets the most engagement on Instagram. Those are the patterns that do really well on my blog, as well as the videos that I post on my YouTube channel, because there's not a lot of there are like different crochet designers who do color work, and they're really great at it, but there aren't that many, so it's not something that people really feel comfortable doing. It feels really intimidating. It's a lot like Tunisian crochet. Tunisian crochet is a super awesome technique, but because it hasn't been as popular in the past, there aren't many designers that do it, but now there's a ton of people getting addicted to it, so there's a lot more awesome Tunisian designs coming out, just like with tapestry crochet, which is really cool. And so I figured out, it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of like, okay, I'm gonna post this photo, let's see how it does, and then it would tank. And then I'd have one where I was like, oh, I don't think this is very good, and then it would do really well and be featured, which is really weird because I was like, I didn't plan this at all. I didn't think this would do well at all, but then all of a sudden it does. Sometimes you never know what's going to do well on social media, and then all of a sudden something takes off without you even realizing it. But so I kind of like did a narrowing process of being like, okay, this one's working. So what are the things about this photo that people like? What are the things about this pattern that people really like? And I struggled for a super long time doing this. I was really bad at, I was trying to do all the things and all the designs, and so people didn't really know what I focused on and what I did, and so they were kind of confused by my content because I had all these different types of things, and so like I didn't sell very many patterns. It hasn't been until recently where I've sold, like the last few months, where I've started selling a lot more patterns. I had to learn how to adjust my prices to be, okay, what is the price point that people want to focus on? Because I do a ton of free patterns on my blog. I've set my patterns at about $2 to $3. And so that, once I changed that and figured out, okay, that's the content price that people want to pay, then I started selling a lot more. And so once I figured out what type of content people liked, I had to also remember tip number 3, which is you need to focus on the things that you love creating. So yeah, you might try some different things on social media and you might have a post that does really well, but it might be something that you don't really like making. So it might be something that you feel pressured to make. For me, that was garments. I went through this whole period where I thought that I needed to make garments. I needed to have that be my focus. I needed to only focus on doing garments because that was what I saw, like all of the top crochet designers out there, that's what they were doing. And so I thought, okay, if I want to get my blog to where I want it to be, I need to do that. But I quickly learned as I kept like putting all this pressure on myself to do this, I started doing different designs. I just wasn't finding that creative spark and that creative energy to design garments. I don't, it was just, it's one of those things where, okay, I love making garments. Like I'm wearing one that I made right now. This is Sorella's Penelope dress. This is what made me really enjoy making garments, but I learned, okay, I like making garments, but I don't like designing them. I enjoy math somewhat, but when you design crochet garments, you need to know a lot of math and you need to enjoy it for the most part, because if you talk to a lot of the designers who they make all those patterns, they really like that whole design process of creating your sample garment, doing the math, and focusing on stuff like that where they love that whole process. But I gotta admit, I cried just about every single time that I did math for my garments, and I ended up having to have my husband do the math for a lot of it and had to like teach him the whole design process because I was just so miserable making them. And so I was just talking with him one day and he just reminded me, okay, what is the stuff that you really like making? And at that point, I was having a ton of fun with tapestry crochet. That's what I was seeing people liked, but I just didn't want to take that leap and that jump into, okay, I want to focus on that. And I was really resistant to doing something that I loved, and it was showing in my designs and in my business as well. Like my blog wasn't growing at the rate I wanted it to, neither was my Instagram. But once I chose to take that leap of faith and decide, okay, I am going to create something that I really love. And once I focused on that, like I got so many more followers, got so many more likes. My blog itself grew so much because people finally knew what to expect from me, and they saw that in my designs, my love of doing it was really shining and really showing through because I had so much fun making them that I would just be able to create something really special and really fun. Like my stocking design, yeah, it's my very first stocking that I ever made, but it's super fun and it's super cute, and because I had a ton of fun making it, like people are at least that's my hope, is that people are going to really enjoy it and want to make some for themselves. And basically when people see the joy and the love that you have for something, they're really drawn to that and they want to know why does she love making this so much? Why is this so great? Like, well, what is it about making this that makes them so happy? And once they just see you shining through in your designs, then they're going to want to be a part of that and they're going to want to come. And that is something that it takes time. It took me over a year to figure that out. But once I did, that is one of the biggest ways that my blog grew to where it's at right now. And once I had that kind of focus, I also had to realize tip number 4, and that is figure out what is the thing that is helping grow your business the most. What is a social media or aspect of your business that is making you either make profit or get page views to your blog or likes on social media? What is the thing that is helping you grow? So for a long time, I was trying to do, because I am a one-woman show, I was trying to do everything. So I wanted to grow my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Pinterest, my blog, and my newsletter, all at the same time. And I said, forget about Twitter. I haven't even done really anything on that. But I was trying to focus on way too many things. So I was spreading myself super thin. Like I was wearing myself out because I was trying to grow everything all at once. And I was trying to get to 10,000 on Instagram. I was trying to grow my YouTube channel, be over 1,000. And I wasn't focusing on what's actually making me profit in my business. And so I had to take a look at everything. And I was thinking that Instagram was what was really growing my business. I thought that for a really long time, so I spent a lot of focus and energy on that. But as I looked at my stats and I looked at my posts and looked at my traffic on my blog, and I saw Instagram pretty much gave me 0 traffic and growth. I would maybe get, when I would share a new pattern, I would maybe get like 70 page views from Instagram on that day that I released the pattern. But overall, people who are on Instagram want to stay on Instagram. They want to engage with the content there, and they don't want to leave. And that's Instagram's goal, is to have people stay on their app as much as possible. So it's not the place to help you get more page views. Like if you want to get to Mediavine, don't focus on Instagram. Instagram is a place where you can build your community, where you can have connection to your audience, connection to people who are also designers and who are also makers. And that's something that I really love about it. But if it is really draining for you, and if you're not seeing a ton of results on there, go find something else that you want to focus on. Go try out Facebook, try a Facebook group, see how your pattern's doing there. Focus on Pinterest, or focus on making videos on YouTube. Find the thing that you really enjoy focusing on when it comes to different social media and different platforms, and focus on that, because when you're able to put all of your energy into it, then your blog's able to grow, your business is able to grow, and you'll see a lot better results when you're not trying to do everything all at once. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, I'm still trying to get to 10,000 on Instagram. Still have that goal. That was one of my goals for the year, so I'm really trying to do that. And I have also I learned, okay, Pinterest is the thing that is giving me the most traffic out of all the different platforms that I'm on. That is the thing that gets me the most traffic. So I decided to invest a lot in that. And because I started investing more in that, and I started looking and asking my audience, what are things that you want to focus on? What are things that you want to do? And I saw, okay, like, people want to, everyone makes crochet mistakes, so how can we help remedy those? And my post, 10 mistakes crocheters make and how to avoid them, that pin on Pinterest went viral, which was crazy. I don't know even how it happened, but it was something that I asked my audience what would resonate with them, and that really resonated with them, and I guess it resonates with a ton of other crocheters too. And so I spent my time focusing on Pinterest and got to see some results. Now, that doesn't mean that every single pin that you make is going to go viral. I have only had one pin go viral so far. I've got some other ones that are pretty popular, but in general, most people's pins do not go viral every single time they make one, or every single time they make a new pattern. That was something that was really rare for me, and it helped kind of reinforce my desire to focus on Pinterest some more. And I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying to get my reach bigger, still trying to make more pins, be more consistent, and do that. I'm really bad being consistent on Pinterest, but I'm really trying. That's my goal for next year, is to really focus on that and be consistent and schedule things out. But that was something that I saw a lot of results on, so I focused on that. And then I also, I found what was the thing that would help people want to be a part of my newsletter lists, because a newsletter is something that is going to help your business grow a lot. That's going to be your most loyal fans, your most loyal followers, who want to hear about when you release a new pattern. They want to hear about what's going on in your life. They want to make that connection with you. And so when you release a new pattern on your blog, they're going to want to go visit it. They're going to want to see it, and they will be your best buyers that you're going to have in your business. My newsletter list is amazing. I love all the people who are on it. They've supported me so much and helped me grow. So that's something that you want to look at, how you can grow that as well. But basically, like, to wrap things up, to kind of share how I grew a lot, kind of my tip number 5 is just a general one of this is how I did it, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you. So my pin going viral 1 month, that one got me about like 10,000 page views within like 3 days. And once that happened, I knew I needed to work my butt off to try to get to that 25,000 sessions on Mediavine, because when you try to be with Mediavine, they want 25,000 sessions. So that was something that I was like, okay, I got to work my butt off. Let's do this. So what are ways that I can get people to come to my blog? And I had seen a lot of success with my blog hops that I had started. That had been like, whenever I had one of those, I would get a lot of traffic, but it was never enough. It was more than what I'd ever gotten, but it wasn't consistent enough that I saw a lot of results from that. So I started like experimenting, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try having one of my patterns be free for one day for just 24 hours. Let's see what happens. And I've had a lot of success in Facebook groups I share, and I'm part of like so many crochet Facebook groups. It's crazy. I don't know how I keep it straight. But that's a really cool way to reach people, because you can include a link in your post and people can go directly to your blog post from Facebook. And usually people have like a 50-50 thing when they go on Facebook, where they're trying to look for content to go outside of it, but they also want to stay on there. So it's finding that balance. So in Facebook groups, I shared, okay, I've got this pattern free for 24 hours. And I was amazed at how many people came because of that. Like, they came to my blog in the droves, and I was amazed. So I had like 4 hat patterns that I designed that I was going to be releasing. So I worked my butt off to get a YouTube video up for that and have the pattern listed and in my shops, and have it on each release day for that. I had the pattern available for 24 hours for free as a PDF. And that just made my blog grow so much. That was something that people really wanted, that free content, and that was the service that I wanted to do for my readers. And so that was one of the biggest things that helped me grow. And because I had all those people coming to my blog, I had a lot more people sign up for my newsletter. So then when I would let people know, okay, I've got this new pattern out, I would get a lot more people coming as soon as I sent that, like coming to my blog as soon as I sent that email. And so that, like, having the combination of the free patterns, the viral pin, my newsletter, and then lastly, my blog hops, I decided to try an event on my blog where I could have, I really love working with other crochet designers, and I wanted to use my blog as a platform for other crochet designers to grow. Also because I know that like, it's really hard as a crochet designer when you're starting out, and it's really hard to get your stuff out there and to reach different audiences with your things, and you know that they're good, but somehow it's really hard to, like, you don't see any results and you're trying to get those. And so I wanted to use that and also serve my audience, and so I started doing blog hops. It took me a couple tries of figuring out what the formula was that worked, but because I saw so much success with my 24-hour free PDF, I wanted to try that on my blog as well. And so my last 2 blog hops have had the pattern free for 24 hours, and that has been, I have seen so much growth, and so, like, it's crazy the amount of people that come when you offer free stuff. It's amazing. It's also hard because people can get really possessive about free things. And so that has been trial and error process of finding, okay, how can I format my posts so that it's easy to find the stuff? How can I benefit both the designer and the customer at the same time? But my blog hops have been one of the best ways that I have seen email growth, newsletter growth, blog growth, and as well as income. Once I got with Mediavine and started doing my blog hops, like this last month, my winter fashion crochet blog hop, I have made already, it is the 20th, and I've made about $1,000 just from ads this month because of my blog hop. Now, blog hops might not be the thing that help your blog grow, but try to ask your audience, what is something that you want to see from me? What is something that you want me to do? And try to find like an event, a fun thing, whether it's a crochet along or a blog hop, or a giveaway or a different pattern. Ask your audience, what do you want to see from me? And people loved my blog hops, so I've tried to put a lot of focus into that, and that's helped my business grow. So I really recommend finding an event that your audience likes, because that's not only a good way to grow your income, but you get to reach so many more people, because people love events. They're so much fun. They are a lot of work as a blogger. I have had so many nights where I've had to stay up late, try to figure things out, do trial and error, I have all sorts of emails from different people and finding what works and what doesn't. But I finally got my formula. So just find what your audience wants to hear from you. What do they want to see from you? And that's basically just the ways that I have grown my blog a lot. So just know, this is not a tried and tested process. This is just how I did it. It took me a lot of trial and error. It took a lot of tears and blood and sweat and making tons of patterns and trying tons of different things, and lots of tea and lots of yarn. So just a lot of it is going to take some time, and just give yourself that grace that it is going to take a little bit of time for your audience to find you, for you to grow. And that was something I had a really hard time with, but just know you're going to find your people. They are out there. You have a great, unique voice to offer everyone. And your blog will get there. If you keep working hard, it will pay off. It definitely will. And just keep experimenting. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Reach out to other bloggers, reach out to other designers, ask them, hey, can you look at my pattern? Hey, what is your advice on how I can grow this blog post reach, or how I can grow my blog? Just reach out to people, see how they did it, see different things of ways that they have grown their blog and grown their business, and you'll find what works for you. And I totally believe in you. You've got this. Your business is going to be awesome. I totally know it. So that was that's kind of an idea of how my main topics are going to go on this podcast. So that one was basically just a summary of how I've grown my blog and how I've seen it work for other people as well. And to wrap up the podcast episode, I wanted to have a special little announcement of a fun event on my blog. Speaking of events, I have been planning this for a while. I have been creating a bunch of different patterns, and I had all these designs that I was making for markets. And I was like, okay, I guess I could release these gradually. But I had so many that I was making that I was like, why not do an event for it? So I am going to have an event on my blog, and you guys are the first to know about it. It is called the 12 Days of Christmas Gifts. It's going to start in December, go for 12 days, and each day I am going to have a new free pattern and video tutorial on my YouTube channel, where I have simple, quick, and fun makes for you to give as Christmas gifts. There's going to be everything from hats to scarves to cowls, to pot holders and towels, just quick little things that you can make in an hour. I'm even going to have a blanket pattern on there that you can make in a weekend. So if you want to give a cozy blanket to someone, that is going to be one of my patterns. One of my favorite ones that I've made is my two-toned beanie. It's a double brim, so it comes down like this, but it's super thick. It's made with Woolies Thick and Quick and Lion Brand Hometown USA, which are two of my favorite yarns that I've been using this season for my fall market stuff. So this is one of the designs. You can make it in any color combo you want, and that's one reason why I love it so much. And then I also have this fun, simple pattern that I haven't shown this to anyone on Instagram or social media or anything, but I also have this fun cowl pattern. Has double crochets, super easy, has the faux fur stripes, and then just the solid double crochets here with the Lion Brand Hometown USA. So this one is really simple one. It's really short, but it keeps your neck nice and warm. And one of my guest bloggers on my blog from my fall fashion one, she has a pattern similar to this. It's Cozy Creations. So if you want to check out her pattern, hers uses faux fur yarn. It's nice and big, and it uses Color Made Easy by Lion Brand. But this is going to be one of my simple and fun patterns that is in the 12 Days of Christmas. So it's going to just be fun, quick gifts that from fashion accessories to blanket stuff. So it will be different than my Christmas collection that I am releasing. But this is going to be my way to like help give you guys some fun gifts that you can make, because I am a super last minute gift giver and maker. So I totally get it when you need something quick to make. So that's basically the whole goal of this event, is to have a really fun time. And I'm also going to be offering all 12 of my patterns as a pattern bundle, so you can get all 12 designs for a really discounted price. And I'm also going to be having a crochet along with all of these things in my E'Claire Makery Crochet Club Facebook group. If you've not joined that already, be sure to join us. I've got a ton of really fun content coming. I haven't put a ton of focus on it in the past, but I am really trying to grow that this year, because I love connecting with you guys and have all sorts of fun content ideas that I have planned. So if you want to join in on the crochet along, I am going to have prizes. I'm going to be offering some gift cards, some yarn giveaway stuff, and we're going to have like a fun little contest where, okay, if you participate in making one of the patterns or more, then you have more entries to the giveaways that I'm going to be having. But it's just going to be a fun way to celebrate the holidays, and we'll do some lives where we can crochet together, and it's just going to be really fun. I'm really excited. I have all sorts of fun events planned for my blog in the next few months in the upcoming year, and I'm so excited to grow my YouTube channel and my Instagram and Facebook. It's going to be super fun, so be sure to hit the subscribe button below and like this video too, so that I can keep reaching more people and that you never miss out on anything from me. I'm really excited that I get to start up my podcast again. I've really missed connecting with you guys through this medium and through this way. So I'm so excited to get to have more lives and more videos, more podcast episodes, so that I can just connect and share with you guys. So let me know in the comments below if you're going to be taking part in my 12 Days of Christmas gifts, and as well as anything that you want to see from me in the future, any topics, any questions that you have about what I shared about my blog, or even just having some fun excitement about my Christmas designs that are coming up, or my patterns in my event. And I am so excited to get to do this again. And I'm going to be trying to do a podcast episode every 2 weeks. I'm going to give myself some grace, not try to do it every week as much as I'd want to. I'm going to try to do it every 2 weeks. And then I might do like a vlog episode, because I need to start that back up. So I might try to do that instead. So do those both every other week. But I'm really excited about the next episode that I've got planned. I'm going to be sharing all about my market that is coming up it's on Small Business Saturday, so November 30th. So I'm going to be sharing about what I learned from that, what I learned from this whole crochet season in general, from doing markets to designing patterns to how to balance everything as a maker during the busy season, and just what I've taken away from it. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that next episode. And I can't wait to see you on Instagram and on my blog. And have a very great and wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!